the things I checked before. Trace the patterns in the dust like they got something left to trust. Spin the dial but it won't land. All the numbers slip like sand. Set the stage, reset the scene. Still don't know what's real or lurking dreams. It's a signal drowned in static. Tangled thoughts turn cinematic. Tried to cut the thread but tied it tighter. Fan the flame but lit it brighter. I keep running but the floor won't move. Keep rewinding but I lost the proof. Every door I close swings back. Every thought I shake fights back. I keep running but the floor won't move. Keep rewinding but I lost the proof. Count the seconds, bite the thread. Tug too hard, it snaps instead. Every answer bends to break. Every hand I hold feels fake. Pulled the pin but lost the spark. Took the leap but missed the mark. Every map just spins me blind. No way out, no exit sign. It's a signal drowned in static. Tangled thoughts turn cinematic. Tried to cut the thread but tied it tighter. Fan the flame but lit it brighter. I keep running but the floor won't move. Keep rewinding but I lost the proof. Every door I close swings back. Every thought I shake fights back. I keep running but the floor won't move. Keep rewinding but I lost the proof. Keep running but the floor won't move. Keep rewinding but I lost the proof. Every door I close swings back. Every thought I shake fights back. I keep running but the floor won't move. Keep rewinding but I lost the proof.
Brother. Welcome back to another episode of the Matt Kohrs Show. Today's a beautiful Thursday, February 20th, I want to say, and that basically means, yes, it is in fact a cardigan type of a day. So I hope you are wearing yours, and I hope you're ready for a fun-filled day in the market. Right now, things are a little bit quiet, a little bit too quiet, a little bit too calm, if you ask me. So I'm hoping for an exciting day. I'm hoping for a day of more opportunity than we've really had this week. But you never know. It's been a quiet week. Vol is super low. We're just not really getting that exciting of moves. So this is just the point of the market we're in. We ebb and flow between exciting big range days to kind of what we've had recently of just like choppy, messy days. And that's just sometimes how it goes. So let's hope, fingers crossed, that we get some good opportunity. Obviously, the plan today, as always, break down all the important political global drama news, break down all the market equity news, and then we're going to spend most of the time prepping you guys up for the key levels to watch throughout the day, because we've been getting quite a bit of positive feedback of like the early morning prep, focusing on that of, okay, how are the options structured? What's the breakout? What's the breakdown? Who's getting the big action in equity? So we're going to definitely be spending quite a bit of time on that. But before we do, very, very quickly, a shout out to today's stream sponsor. I'm talking about Rumble Premium. Folks, you guys know that Rumble has a place in my heart because it is not only an excellent platform to be putting content on, but the time and time and time again that they will, without question, defend free speech. I don't know how you could possibly not support it. So very happy to be with them. I've now been with them for years and years and years. It feels like I was a baby in the world of making content when I first found out of Rumble. And at first, it was just a safe place for me to put my content because I had run into so many other issues on competitive platforms. And even though I've continued to have issues on said platforms, and some of you are watching me there now, Rumble has never had problems. So I would be honored for you guys to check out what's going on with Rumble Premium. Don't forget that you could use that code KOHRS10, KOHRS, to get $10 off the annual plan. Break free. You get a break from all the ads. Watch your favorite videos or live streams without any advertisements. More exciting than that is you get access to exclusive content from Steven Crowder, Dr. Disrespect, just to name a few. You're going to get some monikers such as like the badges and other benefits. So check them out. That's where you're going to get as a viewer. Understand that you are directly supporting not only the platform, but also just the fight for free speech. And then also, if you happen to be a trader and or investor, this is a direct way to support your own financial investment. Obviously, I'm on Rumble Premium. I'm an investor in the stock. I'm a creator on the platform. Absolutely love it. But this is just another surefire way to not only support the platform, but to support really just our right to say what we want, when we want, how we want it. So shout out to Rumble Premium. Pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. Highly recommend you guys check it out. And then that brings us to the old market. Stock futures inch lower after S&P 500 notches fresh all-time high. So I know if you look at this right now, looks like a little bit of a bearish trend. And yeah, technically, right? But please remember that what we saw yesterday was an all-time high in the S&P 500. So not that crazy that we see a little bit of profit taking. And if anything, this breather might be just setting up a higher foundational launch pad for us to break and ideally keep going and going and going. The Qs looking pretty much the same. Palantir taking a big hit yesterday. I'll explain why, but it was a two-tier thing related to the CEO selling quite a bit of his shares and also the Pentagon taking a hit to their budget. Both of those things are going to negatively impact the stock. And then one big winner of the day is Alibaba. I know some people, shout out to Weirdbeard in the Discord, he crushed that play. I know some others did as well, but Alibaba, good earnings. So a lot of people making some good money on this 9.5% gap up. So as you can tell, we have some things to get into. Trump's attack on Zelensky signals new world order taking shape. I have to admit, I'm a sucker for it. As soon as anyone starts slinging the term New World Order, sign me up. I'm in the conspiracy. I want to know the way that we're going. From alienating allies to praising adversaries, Trump appears to set abandon decades of American foreign policy. So for those of you who probably have a more interesting life than I do, and you may have missed some of the news, here's what happened. Trump comes in and says, I'm going to figure out this whole Ukraine-Russia issue. I'm going to figure it out. And everyone's like, oh, okay, cool. And he kind of goes to Zelensky and says, hey, buddy, hey, buckaroo, we've given you a lot of money. We want your mineral rights, and we want this whole war to stop, and we're going to stop sending you money because this is getting far beyond baloney, if you ask me. And he's like, okay, cool, I want it to end too, but are you going to really stop sending me money? And it got to a certain level where we know in the previous administration, Trump's previous administration, that is, that he seemingly had a decent relationship with Putin as much as we could because we still have like this technology Cold War that's going on. So anyway, he's like, you know what? I'm going to keep talking to him. I'm going to resolve it. And both Trump and Putin thus far, and I don't know, they don't bring me into these meetings for whatever reason, but it does seem as if progress is being made. It does seem as if the tensions between the U.S. and Russia are kind of calming down. And actually, I'm going to cover this, but also China. So anyway, they're like, you know what? Let's talk. Trump team, Putin team, they meet up. And it was a little bit strange because they were apparently talking about this whole ceasefire deal in Ukraine between Ukraine and Russia. And Ukraine wasn't at the table. Other European countries weren't at the table. So from there, it kind of slung the other way where Trump, being Trump, always has rhetoric of he's a modestly successful comedian. He doesn't poll that well. And without an election, you're just a dictator anyway. And Zelensky gets all mad. And it's just kind of becoming a pretty awkward situation. Trump turns on Zelensky, leaving Ukraine few options amid war. Let's make this very clear. Without the U.S., Ukraine would be doing nothing. Nothing at all would be going on there. And I covered this in the update video yesterday. But yes, the president of the United States, Donald Trump, on Truth Social, called Ukraine a dictator. And everyone's like, whoa. And that actually led to some drama early this morning. Zelensky reportedly blocks True Social across Ukraine. Folks, I don't know what version of the simulation we are in. I feel like in my mind, there's all these galactic aliens and they're all sitting in their own cubicles. I assume they still work in cubicles the way we do. And I think they're all running interesting simulations and they're all kind of doing their thing, testing it out. And it's like kind of a multiverse situation. And then I think there's us. I think there's one rogue intern who only has the job because his dad or his uncle knows someone at the company and he's put in the corner somewhere, potentially even in the basement, like office space. And they're like, you know what? We're going to let you take over one simulation. And that's the one we got stuck with. Truly. We got stuck with the nepotism intern, or the intern who only has the job due to nepotism. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's turning all the knobs and nobbles on everything, and he just turned our craziness up to 10, and then he's now on a 4-hour lunch break, not realizing what's going on. That's the version we're in. I don't know. The whole like, oh, I didn't have this on my bingo card this year. I think if you had things on your bingo card, you're never going to win the game because like the most absurd things are always just happening. So I don't know. This is probably going to become something. I don't know what it's going to become, but I just know our version of the simulation is absolutely wild. As I alluded to, Trump says new China deal possible despite tension. So this was announced right around 10:30 yesterday. So right here, we started off bearish. Not only did we have lower highs and lower lows, but the options flow was pretty negative. We had a little bit of a green bar around 10:15. And then at 10:30, we actually switched the trend. We went from lower highs and lower lows to fresh highs. Options market started popping. I could actually show you that right here at 10:30. We started a rip, and this was the announcement. That's what changed the entire trend of yesterday. If anything, we were setting up to have a clear touch of 6,100 in the SPX index, and all of a sudden everything turned, and it was because of this. So there was various reports. It was first, the story was broken by the New York Times, and it all related to the US and China, and it was all seemingly positive of, you know what, we might have some like tension de-escalation. We might have some better trade deals. We might be a little bit more friendly with each other. And I have to admit, I get that a lot of people, millions, 70 plus million, absolutely hate Trump within the US, voting people. And you can see it on videos. Like there's like a lot of disdain, and sometimes he's a bit bombastic and I see where it's coming from. Then there's other times that I truly don't get it, like the whole Doge ever. It's like, duh, why can't we account for where all of our taxpayer dollars are? So I'm a little torn on the whole deal of just like where people are and like the emotions. But doesn't it strike anyone as odd that within, I don't know, a month, like we're pretty much at a month now, we're already at a state of calming things down with both Russia and China? Like, I get it. I get that he's the dude from The Apprentice. I get that he has this character that he puts out there. And I get how a lot of these like one-liners really spin people up. I get how the rhetoric gets out of like hand. But if you were to look at this of just like, what are end results? Like truly just the end result. Let's just take out all the emotion of like what's being signed into law. Like what are the actionable things happening? I wouldn't think that it's kind of impressive in 1 month. There's literally like a measurable decrease in the tensions with Russia and China. Like, does no one think that that's like, even if you hate Trump, like even if you're a person, you're like, I just can't like it because of one thing or another. Like, I don't know. I suppose like I wasn't a fan of Biden, but there were certain things he still did that I felt like I was objective. And I was like, oh, that was a good thing to be done. Like he and his team did certain good things. Like I think a lot of people, especially because of media, social media, get spun up and we live in these worlds of absolutes of all good or all bad when we all know the reality is somewhere in the middle. We live in the gray area, folks. We don't live in the black and white. So same thing with Trump. There's going to be things that he has done, going to do that I'm not going to agree with. But there's things that like I think are objectively good, and I think that could be said about every administration. Things that like it. I believe you don't really have the right to bitch about politics unless you have more of a research view of like, yes, I like these things and I like those things. As soon as I hear people saying I like everything or I dislike everything, to me, that's not a quality research. Like you're just really regurgitating what like media or social media or your little like personal group where you want a virtue signal is telling. But like, even for the people who, I don't know, let's say you're self-identified as even having Trump derangement syndrome, isn't that a good thing? Don't we want less war? Don't we want global tensions to simmer down? Like, is it like, I don't know, like, isn't that just a positive thing? Like, had Biden even done this, had Biden put in overtures to Russia and to China to calm things down, strengthen relationships, and try to pivot to be as close to allies as we can, maybe with one day that being the long-term objective, that would have been a good thing. Like, there are things that are just generically good and generically bad, regardless of who's in office. And I feel like this is good. Like, don't we want tensions coming down? Or the other one that I'm bringing up is not pissing away all of our money. Musk's Doge to lead Trump's purge of federal regulations. Agencies to stop enforcement that doesn't align with Trump. Trump to cut banking advisory groups, foreign outreach efforts. And a lot of this, I mean, the more exciting thing was the interview he gave 2 days ago, where he just for 4 minutes and 20 seconds went down a list of just us spending money on the most insane things. And yes, unfortunately, when you're doing such sweeping cuts, there are going to be things that get cut that probably shouldn't be. I'll be the first to admit it. It's not like we were doing this with surgical precision and only cutting out exclusively the misallocation of money. I bet if we really, really looked into it, there would be things that most of us in here would agree that we probably shouldn't be cutting that. But on the other side, think about the years and years and years and years and years of just taxpayer dollars that have just been lit on fire. And actually, lighting on fire would probably be good. At least someone got to light a fire. Think about all the taxpayer dollars that are literally just intentionally being siphoned from all of us into someone's personal pocket, their personal bank account. And like, to me, that is just it's so immoral. It's so reprehensible. Doge is searching for wasteful spending. It isn't hard to find. Agencies self-identify billions in improper payments. Doing something about it is the hard part. Well, apparently it's not hard for some people, because some people just say, hey, we're not going to give you the money anymore. And now he's winning even more public favor. Trump says he's weighing giving 20% of Doge savings to Americans. So I know I covered this a little bit yesterday. How long is this clip? Yeah, we have time. Dude, we have time.
Curbing inflation and saving taxpayers billions and billions of dollars every single day. And there's even under consideration a new concept where we give 20% of the Doge savings to American citizens and 20% goes to paying down debt, because the numbers are incredible, Elon. So many billions of dollars, billions, hundreds of billions, and we're thinking about giving 20% back to the American citizens and 20% down to pay back debt and pay down debt, which is, if you look at value, if it were a real estate balance sheet, the debt is tiny, but we still want to pay it down. Doesn't matter. We don't look at it as a piece of real estate. It's America. We're going to get it down through intelligence, hard work, and, as Elon said, a word called caring. You have to care. By doing this, Americans will tell us where there's waste. They'll be reporting it themselves. They participate in the process of saving money. So many of the men and women in this room, as an example, they pay tremendous amounts of taxes. And here are just a few examples of where your money was going before I came along. These are just some of just taken at random. Oh, there are much worse examples than this. I was just looking at them before the speech, and I can tell you they were much worse. And there are some that are horrible, but I don't want to really say them because they're very, very embarrassing to people. Very, very embarrassing.
You get the point. We kind of listened to the rest of it yesterday, but I mean, just wild things. What was it? $20 million on Sesame Street development in Afghanistan. It's just always absurd. Like, you read it and you're like, no way is that real. And then you look into it and you're like, oh, I guess we did spend money on that. And I mean, even though it's our tax dollars, I don't think the majority would have voted for our money to go there. And it's just because they didn't ask us. It doesn't matter. We vote those people in. It's all this, pork barrel, and people are like, they're taking their own kickbacks. I mean, and if you're sitting here and be like, no politicians are taking kickbacks to like piss away our money, okay, then if you believe that, You need to explain to me how these people go into office worth nothing. They get an average salary of $200K, and then 30 years later, they're worth 50, 75, 100, $200 million. The math ain't mathin', folks. I'm not here saying I'm a mathematician or anything like that, but I can do basic math, and I know that when your lifetime career earnings are $5 million, not counting taxes or anything like that, and then all of a sudden you're worth $150 million, the math ain't mathin'. 150 ain't equal to 5, folks. I just don't get it. Apparently, they're all just the best traders ever, and none of whom have market experience. Something is going on that is so deeply corrupt and messed up with our taxpayer dollars. And I'm not saying this as if it's a new thing. I know many of you listening to this right now, you're saying, dude, I like the cardigan, but you ain't telling me anything new. I get that. But what I am saying is finally we at least have the first true effort in American history to figure out what's going on and to cut out some of these cancerous parts. So I know I'm not breaking anything new. I get that. But what I am saying is this is the first time we're actually legitimately doing something to fix it. So I hope it goes the right way. I have no crystal ball for politics, for the market, for anything in my life. All I know about is I'm having sangria later today. But beyond that, I could just make conjectures. And right now, this just seems like something smart to do. Moving on to the market. Today, Thursday, February 20th. If you guys see my mom tomorrow, it is her birthday. So if you see her, make sure you say happy birthday. But anyway, today, initial jobless claims coming in slightly higher than expected. The manufacturing index slightly lower than expected. Crude oil inventories coming out just for all my energy traders. Not too much scheduled for today. We don't have any, even tomorrow, we don't have the most coming down the pipeline. We do have some exciting things going on with individual equities. Alibaba was this morning, Walmart, Unity, Wayfair. After the market closes today, we get the best company of all time, Texas Roadhouse, Block, Rivian. So we got some exciting stuff, but I do want to talk about what happened not only this morning between Baba and Walmart, but I also want to talk about what happened yesterday with Palantir. I know there's fans in chat of all of these. Walmart shares drop as retailer says profit growth will slow. And it had a lot to do with the quote unquote will not be immune from looming tariffs on Mexico and Canada. So if we bring up old Walmart, you're going to see it is a bloody mess. Closed out the day at 104, currently trading at 99.5, down 4%. And even that is a bit of a recovery. When I saw it, was all the way down to 94. That was the most extreme it got. So Walmart really, it did fine in terms of like the actual numbers, but in terms of future guidance, they were definitely throwing a wet towel on it. On the other side, Alibaba shares pop 10% in pre-market after Cloud Uni e-commerce growth push up quarterly profit. So Bob is an interesting case because for so long it was so good, then it got horrible, and now it's back to like kind of finding its footing. So Bob has been a wild trip. Like I said, from 2016, all the way up here trading at 300 in 2020, absolutely murdered. But now it seems like it's on a bit of its comeback tour. This is a large, legitimate breakout at 120. For those of you who are playing in the short term, obviously, congratulations to you. But I'm actually this foundation and this build out so much. This might be one worthwhile to throw in the old long-term account. Just the risk reward of it, the growth, what's going on. There might be legitimate opportunity here. So I just wanted to call that out for the short term and the long term. I think there might be some positive things going on. So just wanted to call that one out. Obviously say congrats to you guys, but it was just, it beat on top and bottom. It had good future guidance. No surprise it's up. Now, the one that's kind of 10% yesterday, down 3% in post-market trading. It also hit an all-time high. So if you look at this right here, it locked in a new all-time high. It's at 107. When it was at 107 earlier in February, people were losing their minds talking about how amazing it was. And now it's down at 107, 108 at the end of February, 2 weeks later, not even at the end, literally just 2 weeks later. And people are freaking out talking about how it's just going to get too short. Let's be realistic. When it was there on Tuesday, February the 6th, everyone was like, I told you, this is so bullish. This is so amazing. We're ripping, whatever, hit a new all-time high, told you. And then another day that it hit an all-time high, coming back down to the same value that we only saw 2 weeks prior, everyone's like, it's over. It's done. It's absolutely done. Folks, it's the same level. It's like, let's just be a bit realistic. Let's take a breather. Let's realize what's actually going on with this stock. It's a breather. I'm not actively trading Palantir right now. I'm a long-term investor. I own stock. Even with this drop, I'm up quite a bit. And guess what? If it gets this downside gap fill to 84, I'll just buy more. I know it's painful in the short term to say, but I wouldn't mind a dip here because then I could just get more shares on the cheap. So as a trader, obviously you're just trying to play the trend. As an investor, let's not freak out. One red day should not be the thing that is so such a seismic shift to your trading or your investment thesis. Your investment thesis should exclusively be built on, do you like the fundamentals of the company? One day's move does not change the fundamentals of the company. Now, if you're wondering why it's going down, it's kind of a twofer situation. Palantir plunges after CEO Karp changes share sales plan, basically saying he wants to sell 1.2 billion of his shares. Pentagon budget cuts. We know, I believe it's 55 to 60% of Palantir's revenue comes from government contracts. And obviously one big client is the Pentagon. And if the Pentagon is getting budget cuts, that means that they're going to have less money to pay Palantir to do certain things. So that's kind of the old 1-2 combo. The CEO updating his share sales plan. Once again, 1.2 billion is what he wants to sell. And then Pentagon will be cutting 8% each year over the next 5 years. So people not the most stoked about that. So those are the two pieces of negative news that caused this reaction. And with it, if you like the stock, first of all, if all of a sudden you turn bearish and you're writing it down, okay, if you want to play that short-term bearish trend, good luck to you. But overall, the trend's still up, so I don't want to do that counter trend movement. If you are bullish on it, okay, cool. Have patience. Just wait for the bleeding to stop. Wait for a new base to be created, and then play it off that new base. There's not really anything too complicated to it. If anything, it's relatively basic. Like I see FinTwit and YouTube, and I just see people freaking out about it. Just chill. Just chill. It's gonna be okay, Tonto. Like, we don't need to hold your hand for every single market movement. If you haven't already, sign up for the newsletter. It is 100% free, mattkohrs.locals.com. Also, if you want to be a premium member, aka supporter, that's how you can join the trading Discord. That's what we do after the stream every single day. But this is 100% free. You've never had to pay for it. You never will. I give you all the major earnings, call out the ones I think you're going to care about, all the major macroeconomic events. Today, we do have the U.S. leading economic indicators coming out at 10 a.m., maybe worthwhile to pay attention to. With respect to seasonality, from a historic standpoint, this day is dominated by the bears over the past 27 years. This is what your hypothetical equity curve would look like if you bought at open and sold at close on the S&P 500 futures market. It was kind of choppy to the downside, and in the past couple of years, it clearly got more bearish. So is that a guarantee for today? No, but I'm telling you that the bulls have only won this day 1 out of every 3 times, and then tomorrow is also bearish. Remember, this portion of the month is dominated by the bears. So, I guess you might be saying, does it really matter when the market is absolutely just ripping? And that's definitely a fair retort, because even though I'm telling you it's seasonally bearish, we did hit a new all-time high. So right now, this might be one of that 1 in 3 times where the seasonality ain't so accurate. But remember, seasonality is not a guarantee. It's just the probabilities of the situation. And now for today, let's really just drill in. Here's the 10-minute. This is on the screen right now. Is the S&P 500 index. Yes, we hit a new all-time high at 6,147. If I were to update this right now, we are currently trading at 6,130. So we are roughly where my cursor is, kind of right at this 48 EMA. That's roughly where it is. So the green line is yesterday's high, the red line is yesterday's low, and the white line is yesterday's close. Remember, we've already done all these statistics from Edgeful, but breaking above the high is statistically bullish, not from the fact that you're just making a new high, but what it means statistically for where you're expected to close on the day. The odds do jump up. Once you break the high, good odds of closing out the day above the previous close, and then vice versa of when you break down below the low. So that's what those 3 lines are for. And then you're going to see these yellow/golden horizontal lines. Those are all the key option levels of the day. So that's how they are as of market open right now. Of course, they could change throughout the day because people like you, like me, can trade throughout the day, but these are all the levels we'll be watching. So we're scheduled to open around 1:30. Big support is at roughly between 6,120, 6,125. This is big support. And then we have massive support all the way down here at 6,100, which has been the support for the past how many ever trading days. This is huge support. If we break that, the overall trend can really change for a couple of days. That's how important and pivotal of a level this is. But first, for that to be taken out, we'd have to take out one key options level followed by yesterday's low. So I think it's unlikely. Of course, it's possible, but just in terms of probability, unlikely. I think what's more likely is we open here, we find support at one of these levels, bounce off of it, get the upside gap fill to yesterday's close, and then push a bit more and test the first major upside level of 6,155. And then the next level after that, like profit target number 2, would be 6,165. And even though it's a bit of a reach, I do want to let you know that there's quite a bit of action at the 6,180 level. So those are the levels of the day. Feel free to screenshot it. And perfectly on that note, dingity ding ding ding, the world's largest casino is now open. Play responsibly, and if not, have fun. Folks, you know me. What I'm going to do is wait those first 10, 20, 30 minutes to see how the market is opening. I want to see the price trend. I want to see the options trend, and I want to trade with trend to see if I can make some money today. I had a decent winning day yesterday on all my Apex accounts, all my futures accounts. I think I made 1.1, 1.2, 1.3K per account. I was a fan of that, and let's see if we could run it back. I'm getting some alerts. What am I getting alerts on? TEM potentially breaking down. Not a fan of that. I do have calls. We have Apple potentially breaking out. I am a fan of that. I'm definitely a fan of Apple doing Apple things. Meta also potentially breaking down. Palantir gap down. There's now the upside gap fill to 108.56, downside gap fill to 84.25. Broadcom not doing much. Apple showing some strength. Microsoft, Nvidia, Tesla, TEM. I don't want that to keep pushing. I got to pay attention to that. So we have BABA, nice 10% gain. Palantir potentially turning around. How's Apple looking early this morning? Here's the current options flow. We dipped and then we popped on the Mag 7. The SPY is just long and strong since market open. Here's what I can do. La-ti-da. Okay, let's do some stuff. Let's do some stuff. All right. Where was Apple at? Okay. Okie dokies, artichokes. Do I need to manage anything early? Okay. All right. All right, we're slapping in that one, just a little bit of management. The Qs, like I said, just wait for this to open. The flow this morning, the SPY popped, started to take a hit 2 minutes in. The Mag 7 dropped, popped, dropped again. We're just, there's no, nothing. I don't think you can really discern a trend from just 3 minutes worth of data. So let's just wait. Let's just chill. Let's just see how things are going to play themselves out. I did need to take a quick screenshot. If you're in the Discord, I did update one of my swing plays, which I will throw in here. If you, where is it? Swingers. Shout out to the Discord. Feel free to join up. Your first month is free. By the way, all right, we put that in there and we are good to go. All right, now we're just kind of in the waiting phase a little bit. Alibaba looking good. Nvidia slightly green. Microsoft trying to hold green. TEM getting hit, very volatile. Palantir down 5%. Broadcom, here, let's open up a little bit more. RUM's taking a little bit of a hit today. This is a little bit farther out in time, just to call it out. I will be there on March 11th for their next earnings call, so that's going to be a fun one for old Rumble. Amazon down a little bit. Netflix, Coin actually putting in a green day. Coin's been getting kind of beat up lately, hasn't it? Where's Coin? Yeah, Coin looking a little bit suspect. It might be able to catch itself 250, something like that. But we popped, consolidated, broke down, consolidated, potentially maybe breaking down. I'd be watching the options flow there. DJT also not looking the best. Netflix not far from its all-time high. Amazon giving back quite a bit from its all-time high, watching for this support at 223. Rumble still just holding its consolidation zone. Broadcom doing nothing. Palantir upside gap fill, downside gap fill. I don't know which one will hit first. Meta, I had a quick little play on that, but I just took a small gain and got out. Apple, higher highs, higher lows, still looking to see if it can take out the intraday high from the earnings pop-up on Friday, January 31st. If it can take out 247.19, I think there's a realistic shot to 250, 253. All right, we're watching that. NVIDIA, a little bit of a consolidation after higher highs, higher lows. Obviously, if it breaks, might get exciting to push it up to 147. Tesla, maybe a dead cat bounce. I'm kind of watching this because we sold pretty hard, then we popped, and we now have days of consolidation. So waiting to see how that plays out. TEM, I'm only watching that now because I see every single day in terms of the action it's getting, it's picking up and up and up, and it's just a play that Nancy Pelosi's in, so people are talking about it. So it's a new watch on my list here, especially because after the break, I waited for the consolidation and maybe it keeps going. The 5-minute, the 10-minute, and the 30-minute are all slightly bearish on the S&P 500 right now, according to the EMAs, but they're all very close. So I would say this is more, it's bearish, but indecisive. While the NASDAQ actually just took a hit. The NASDAQ tried to get a big breakout right here. I've been watching this 4-hour trend line. It tried to get out there on Wednesday, got smacked. We're close to it, but it looks like early this morning, the first 5 minutes have been leaving a little bit to be desired. The Mag 7 is trending down, maybe basing, but once again, we are only 5 minutes into the day, while the SPY is telling us a different story. So we are in another situation where the overall market and then the tech sector, which is an absurdly dominant sector, has been telling us two different things. Mag 7 trending down while the S&P 500 is trending up. I think the easiest thing to do in those situations is wait for them to agree. I can't tell you who's going to win. I can't tell you who's going to lose. I can just tell you wait for the opportunity to set up where you have reasonable risk to reward to attempt to play it. Let's go back to Palantir because I know we have a lot of nervous Nellies in chat watching that one. And then Baba's also up on the screen. That is actually just increasing its gain. So what do we have? What do we have? All right, 5-minute maybe trying to recover, 10-minute trying to save itself at this test, and maybe even the 30-minute trying to save itself on the NASDAQ. The 5-minute, 10-minute, 30-minute on the S&P 500, all very indecisive. The EMAs are basically just going perfectly flat, so maybe a little bit of patience there. And then with respect to the key levels, here's where we are at with the S&P 500. Remember, the green is yesterday's high, the red is yesterday's low, the white is yesterday's close, and then these yellow golden lines are the key options levels. Honestly, if we dip down to here, I wouldn't mind doing some sort of a dip buy because it just is key support. Looks like some buyers came in at 125 though. I was kind of cutting the region in half. It was like a 5-wide region. So let's just wait. Patience. We don't need to rush it. Let's just see. Baba is still going, dude. Baba. All right, let's move this up. Apple having a decent day. Let's see. SPY, we might be coming right down to this test level. Let's watch for this. I'm curious if on this test, if we're going to see a spike in options. But right now, I can see the Mag 7 still getting hit. Let's see who's the major culprit. Apple's actually looking bullish. Microsoft is looking like nothing. Amazon kind of looking like nothing. Google, slightly bearish. Tesla's getting hit, folks. Be careful. If you're intraday bullish, short-term bullish on Tesla, I am here to tell you that the options market does not agree with you. Calls are being sold and puts are being bought. Tesla might be a worthwhile one to throw up here. Let me take this. Let's actually take that was clear selling. That was aggressive selling on Tesla. Yeah, that one, it got murked from 361 down to 355. Be careful on this. We might be getting a little bit of a trend reversal. What if we look at the 30-minute? What are we seeing? What are we seeing on the 30? we got this bounce, but now the bounce is starting to look tired. So, I mean, you have support between 353 and 348, but if that snaps, you could be seeing a $10+ push. I mean, all I could tell you is the options market really getting beat up, particular to Tesla. Who else do we have? Meta. Meta was getting beat up, and then just a big bounce right there. So let's just go back to the Mag 7 in aggregate. So a lot of them doing nothing. Tesla getting uniquely beaten up, and Apple actually showing a bit of strength. So a bit of a mixed situation there. Where is Tesla? Maybe a bit of a bounce. Maybe eventually the put buyers will stop and the call sellers will stop. But let's watch. Let's be patient. We don't need to rush anything. We don't need to be crazy. All right. What time is it? It is 9:39. 9:39. All right. Here we are. Potential trend line reversal here. Mag 7 picking up. SPY is actually picking up. Let me go to this. Let's go in a little bit on a cleaner. So I was kind of following this structure. We peaked at 931. Potential trendline breakout. It is above VWAP. Do I like this trade? Do I like it? Yes, no, maybe so. Yes, no, maybe so. So I see the SPY up, down, obviously higher highs and higher lows with respect to the delta. I see that the Mag 7 is potentially putting in a higher low. I'm looking at the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ really isn't doing anything. The SPY is kind of range bound. I was watching this, had its own little trend line breakout. We also have this. So it tried to get going, but it's looking lethargic, not much of a follow through. And then maybe we come in here at support, but I know we do have this key options level a little bit lower. The NASDAQ, the 5 minutes trying to hold green, the 10-minute did hold green, and the 30-minute is now above the EMAs. What's the issue here is the SPY. So we're kind of seeing the inverse of what we saw the last 2 days, where the NASDAQ was weak and the SPY on a relative basis was stronger. Today we've inverted that, where the SPY bearish, bearish, bearish. But what's strange about it is the NASDAQ is trying to hold bullish while the Mag 7 was beat up, and then the SPY actually just took a pretty serious hit. So right now, indecisive. I would say this is a pretty indecisive opening. The SPY is weaker. The Qs are stronger. We literally, if you're a day trader, scalp trader, like if that's what you're trying to engage in today, I see nothing evident. Tesla might fall over. Babo's looking real strong. TEM is getting beat up. Tesla maybe bouncing here. How does it look on this view? I mean, it looks like it's trying to go. That's not the worst risk in the world. I was watching this trend line. I mean, definitely not the worst risk. Huh. Not the worst. I mean, I'm thinking kind of about this long here. Risk like at the recent low or risk at VWAP. But I would like it better. I mean, the SPY, what's the Mag 7's picking up. SPY did get hit, but it's attempting to recover. We're kind of in this weird pattern where is the SPY actually going to get going? Right there. We just got knocked a little bit. What time is it? It's 9:43. 9:43. Just going to give this a second to breathe because I'm looking to go long on the NASDAQ, but I'm not so convinced about the SPY yet. And I don't want the SPY to get clocked and for it to like ruin this recovery bounce in the NASDAQ. So I'm just kind of waiting. We opened in the red. So there is an interesting idea of playing the SPY back up to 612.93. We know the odds of that upside gap fill are high. Same thing with the Qs up to 539.52. Those odds are decent, but the SPY just made an intraday low. Right here, options flow is starting to tilt. So we were bullish until it got smacked here at 9:41, 10 minutes into the trading day. Since then, lower highs and lower lows. More specifically, calls are being sold and puts are being purchased. So I'm still just waiting because remember, I have this key level idea already marked out at just below 6125. And actually, as we're talking about key levels, log in. Don't look at my password, please. All right, let's see what GexBot is calling out. 6130, looking to break that, and this is calling for support at 6110 and some support at 6120. So that's why roughly, okay, so we're at that support right now. This already looks like it. The trend line breakout was a fake out breakout, not really looking the best. Maybe going for the intraday low here. Maybe. We are below VWAP now. Intraday low is coming up. Coming up to it, Jesus. Yeah, so we're just below this. I wonder if buyers are going to step in here. If buyers are going to step in, this would be a dandy time to do it. A dandy time to do it. All right, you know what? I'm going to open this up because Tesla is starting to legitimately interest me here. Come on. TSLA. Tesla. So Tesla got pretty beat up. We saw a bit of a recovery to 943, and now it might be going set. Whoa. All right. We're testing these support levels. We're definitely testing these support levels. All right. Tesla flow, not as bearish as it was, but maybe potentially tilting over. So watching that. Mag 7 had a nice pop all the way up till 944. And now we're just maybe a higher low. I'm just waiting on that. The SPY vomited, but we just got some flow alerts right here. We just got some, what was it specifically? Call buyer stepped in and also put started to get sold. So both adding positive delta. So right there, flow alerts. Right oddly, we bounced off of this. All right, let's wait. Let's see what's going on here. What's going on? It's attempting to pick back up. The Mag 7, ooh, maybe. I might have spoke too soon. The Mag 7 starting to pick up right there. Tesla. Part of my, I don't know if I'm being smart here, but part of my brain is attempting to buy this dip. Part of my brain thinks, is it worthwhile to buy this dip? Mag 7, I see it. It might be a higher low. The SPY, it did make a fresh low, but we have a pop here. Is there going to be follow through? Is there going to be follow through? Let me put it back on the 10 minutes so you guys can see where we're at in kind of the larger picture. So we snapped this first support for sure. The next support is yesterday's low, which, what in the world? Yeah, okay. Yesterday's low, 6,111. Watching that. Watching and waiting. Tesla getting hit. Mag 7 getting hit. All right, here's what we need to do. All right, cutting that. Okay. All right. How's that Tesla flow look? Tesla's getting hit still. Tesla's getting hit. Getting hit. Oh. All right. We're moving some things around. Tesla The Mag 7, maybe this is it. The SPY, another flow alert. So right here, we're seeing a lot of action right at these lows, huge flow alerts. And when there's a flow alert, that just means an abnormal amount of options are being traded. Could be bullish, could be bearish. You kind of have to wait to see which way the range breaks. But lots of flow alerts there, lots of flow alerts there. The 0DT is kind of picking it up. Hang on. Let me take a quick screenshot. I do need to update this. We got some interesting positioning this morning for sure. Indecisive, I would not by any means say this is an easy way to be playing things at all. But let's see what's going on. Baba still long and strong. Apple, what's Apple doing? Apple's attempting to hold. Tesla's looking pretty weak. Dude, Tesla's option flow, that is not good. Here, I'll go to the 30-second. Ooh, yeah, it's just getting pummeled. And it's both. It's just nonstop call selling and put buying. That's brutal. It doesn't get much worse than that, folks. Be careful from a technical level on Tesla. If it snaps, what level did I have? Are we coming up to it? Looks like it. Obviously, your warning shot is if it breaks yesterday's low at 353.67, and then things do get bad on the break of 347.50 or 342, so you could kind of cut that. But right here, warning shot on the snap of 353.67, and then it gets pretty bad below 342.85. And remember, the recent low was 325. So just wanted to call that out. TEM breaking down. All right, fuck that stock. NVIDIA not doing anything. Microsoft actually. So Microsoft and Apple are actually having decent days. So not everything is a bloodbath right now. You have Palantir that it doesn't know what it wants to do, gap down, and it's not really recovering. Broadcom not doing anything. Meta kind of went down, but I don't know. It's still like so strongly bullish. So, all right. The SPY is now stopped, maybe? Question mark. Is this enough of a hit? I mean, the impulse was clearly to the downside. The Qs are still getting hit. Tesla, Apple. Apple showing some strength. The Qs just got smashed. The Qs just got smashed. And we are bleeding off, folks. Bleeding off. Okay, how's this looking? 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, all red. 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute are currently all red. SPX. Personally, I'm afraid to chase at this level because we're so beaten it up. And I know that there's big support at 6,110. And I know there's massive support at 6,100. So I don't know. Like, I feel like this was the breakdown to play between 943 and 944 if you were attempting to play that. Because right now it feels like it's a little too far gone. And what if it just bases and bounces out of here? What just happened? I did get an alert on something. Oh, on Tesla snapping. So as I told you, that warning shot on Tesla is a very, very serious warning shot right now. The Qs are taking out yesterday's low. That is a no bueno situation, mi amigo. That is a no bueno situation. Yeah, so the Qs just took out yesterday's low. The SPY has not. The SPY is getting close, but the SPY would have to get down to 609.56. The Qs already did it. Maybe we'll find support there. The fact that we did break this low, there's about a 70-ish% chance that we now close the day below 539.52, just so everyone knows. Just so everyone knows. All right, what in the world is going on? What's the flow looking like? Tesla's getting murdered. Mag 7 getting murdered. SPY just got destroyed. Destroyed. The SPY just got smashed. A bunch of 0DT calls sold and a bunch of 0DT puts bought. They smashed that one. Holy shit, dude. They really messed that one up. And it's still going. All right, we're about to take out this low. Wow. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. All right. Hang on. Done. forcing to rebalance everything today. Wow. Golly. All right, we're coming up to the big test. The big test is in sight, folks. And I'm talking about 6,100. This is kind of the doomsday level. A lot of models are going to switch from risk on to risk off below 6,100. So this is kind of the line in the sand of if we bounce or not. So I'm going to be watching that very, very closely. Very closely. Tesla's still just getting murdered, by the way. Mag 7 got murdered. SPY. Maybe a bit of a reversionary bounce going on right now, but I think everyone's kind of awkwardly watching this level. Lots of options positioning right at 6,100. Maybe a slight overshot. Just remember, if we go slightly below it, that doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, that's a break, but we're going to see how the market participants really react to this level. This is going to definitely be the watch of the day. This is definitely going to be the watch of the day. Jesus. It just, what a dump right there at 9:52. Was there breaking news that caused that, or was that just a large trader? Let me see. U.S. Commerce Secretary Lutnick, tariffs won't cause inflation or recession. I don't see tariff policy causing a recession. That was news. Russia, Saudi Arabia will continue to cooperate closely within the framework of OPEC+. The Trump team eyes cuts at the office that funds disaster recovery. Ukrainian president office, the joint Kyiv press conference with U.S. envoy Kellogg and Ukraine Zelensky has been canceled at the U.S.'s request. Okay, Mexico's President Sheinbaum. Mexico seeks a price deal with gasoline sellers. Dude, what in the world is happening this morning? What do we have going on? We're taking out these lows. That's not so good. I guess the breakout denied. Hardcore. Okay, as we're waiting to see how this pain goes, obviously this is a invaluable tool. So shout out to Spot Gamma. If we are the only community they are offering this deal to, you can get 80% off your first month if you want to track options the way I do. And to be completely honest, I don't know how you would possibly trade without knowing what's going on in the options world. For example, when I was calling out Tesla, telling you it's getting murdered, the pain's not over for Tesla. Looks like it's still going down. If you want these insights, that's exactly what this is. The tool's called Spot Gamma. Beyond Options Flow, they have a ton of things I highly recommend checking out, and you get to check it out for a fat discount of 80%. Pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. I highly recommend you get a Spot Gamma account at least for 1 month to see if it can improve your trading, because if you use it properly, I very much think it will. Imagine trading without knowing the options market. It blows my mind. Even this, I could see Tesla picking up a little bit right now. The Mag 7 still looking like crap. I could see the SPY actually still kind of looking like crap. Jeez, dude.
Order
All right.
Order submitted.
All right. What do I see going on here? What do I see going on? I'm playing this reversion, small risk play. Small risk play on the NQ contract. Literally just risking this bounce. I saw that it made a fresh low. And then when I was looking at the fresh low, with the fact that I also see options not looking so good, Mag 7 not looking so good, Tesla individually not looking so good, bearish. I'm trading with price trend. I'm trading with options trend. And then from there, I'm just letting it ride. I'm not the most fond of the entry. It's a little bit chasey, which is why I have such a close risk on this one. If it goes in my favor, awesome. But if it goes against me, then I'll just be able to reevaluate a little bit later. So that's why I'm like so aggressive with this particular stop. But we're going to see. Whoa, dude. Mag 7 is puking. How is Apple looking individually? Apple's now getting hit. Oh, decisions. All right. All right. We're making some moves. This is such a wild opening. It's coming down to right here, folks. You're about to see the test of how bad today is going to be or is not going to be. I cannot stress the importance of this level right here, right where we are. Jeez. Where are we at? Are we gonna snap? Yes, no, maybe so. How is the options flow looking going into this? It's looking brutal, folks. It's looking brutal. Wow, what a switch we got today. If it doesn't quickly recover above this, Jesus, hang on. Brutal. All right, I'm still I'm bailing basically on all my bullish plays, and I'm getting into more bearish plays. Where are we at? All right, I'm slinging some stuff. Dude, VIX is popping. This is crazy. How's my position? Oh, shit, I'm up. Well, got lucky on that play. Let's move the old stop to break even and get a free play out of the deal. No risk. I'm already up 20 grand plus. I'm actually up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm up 30 grand right now. Should I just take it? Do I want to? What are we doing? I forgot. We have too many. Dude, Tesla's. The market's turning. VIX is popping. Oops. We're about to, dude, this is going fast. I almost wonder if I should extend this and then just keep trend following it all the way down. Or should I just take the 2K? Vol's definitely picking up. Oh, look at these bounces. We're bouncing now 40 points like it's just nothing. All right. I'm hoping that this little bounce fails here, and we just, I would kind of want to move my stop right down to this level at 90. 200 I do know is a key level. Let's see what's going on. This is getting bloody, folks. Tesla flow destroyed. Mag 7 flow destroyed. SPY flow destroyed. So the options flow super negative. From a technical setup, we're taking out the last 1, 2, 3 lows. Next target is the 4th low. The SPY taking out 1, 2, 3 lows. Next target, the 4th low. This we're retesting the trend line right now. I'm telling you, SPX, if it does not quickly recapture, folks, I'm telling you, lots of things are going to end up going risk off, aka bearish, if it holds below 6 out of 100. Now, if we somehow get an overshoot and a recovery, that's a different story. And I'm not saying that is out of the woods quite yet, but that's a steep hit. That's a 15-point hit. There's a lot of market participants right now trying to decide, okay, do they actually want to bail, or are they going to try to be the hero and buy this back up? Watch this. The longer we stay below 6,100, the more dangerous it gets, because then it becomes a quote unquote real breakdown. So I am watching this level like a hawk right here, which happens to be about the low from 2 days ago. We're getting a little bit of a momentary bounce. Shit. I didn't realize that it was bounced. Dude, this volatility is nuts. Look at these. All right. Do I just want to close this? Because if it does puke, I could easily get right back in, but I'd prefer that it just kind of gets smacked before I have to deal with it. Like I said, I'm not risking any money. My stop, break even, no risk on the table for me. I wouldn't I don't think it's good to let a trade like this cost you actually money. So it was a bit chasey when I got in, which, hey, that's how it's going to be. But what I'm really looking for is to see if we have this continuation, because that's where I think the big money is going to be, is if this right here does not hold. Watching 6,100. The Mag 7 bouncing since 10:02. The SPY bouncing since 10:02, 10:03. So we're seeing an attempt to save, but let's see if it actually can. Let's see if it actually can. Wow. That vol picked up out of nowhere. Here's the VIX. All right, the VIX got all the way up to 1616, coming down a little bit. I'm telling you, if this starts to go, or if VIX starts to pop again, we might be reevaluating these intraday lows here. We might be reevaluating. Wow. That's crazy. All right. Now it's time that we vote. Are you guys thinking that this is going to be a dead cat bounce? Or do you think that this is actually a V-shaped recovery? Cast your votes. Let's see if you're right or you're wrong or somewhere in the middle. The past 4-ish minutes, we're seeing a bounce. Now, the question is the bounce going to be, see how we're bouncing right up to this level? We're not bouncing up to this level by magic. It's just that important a level that the market very much needs to evaluate. At this point, the path of least resistance is all the way back up to 6,140. We're down to 6,080-ish. We are in negative gamma. That's what happens when you start to snap. Like, all I can tell you is we're at key support. We're reevaluating to see if this support is turning into resistance. If this does not hold, there's gonna be more damage, but I don't know if it's gonna hold or not. All I can give you is the bull case and the bear case. The bull case is a recapture of this. We stabilize here, and then maybe we just bounce right back up to this key level. The bear case is that this support fails, we start to turn back over, and that would be a bad news, and obviously things would accelerate by taking out the intraday low. So that's what I'm watching for. I see that the VIX on the lower right of your screen here is starting to get hit. I mean, we had a big pickup. That was kind of the puke that we saw below this, but now we're just kind of watching. Is it actually going to fail? How's the flow? Mag 7 turning a little, SPY turning a little bit more. Oh, 50. Do I really want to risk $800? I'm wondering if this is my time to shine. First trade was break even. Don't mind it. That's what trading is sometimes. All right, we're back
Order
in.
submitted.
We're letting it ride. Keeping my risk on a relative basis small, basically just risking whatever this recent high is. And really what I'm looking for is the snap of 2,200. Snap at 2,200, I believe I'll be golden. There might be a little bit of a reaction here at 21,900, like 75-ish. But what I'm seeing, why I just took that, is because I see the SPY options turning again. I see the Mag 7 options turning again. So I'm just trying to trade with the flow of everything. And it's kind of risky because you're basically saying that this bounce is not going to actually hold. But I guess that's the risk I plan on taking today. We're right at this trend line. I mean, it's support. We might bounce, but we might break. If we break, things could get bad. Watching this on the Qs. Mag 7. All right, we could get rid of that. Here's Trace. Even SpotGam is calling this out as pretty key right here. The next interesting level is potentially all the way down at 6,060. I mean, I didn't even mark out levels below this because I thought the chance of us breaking it today was like slim to fucking none. But here we are. 6,060. Like, this is how quickly bad it could get. This is seemingly the next major level of support. Let me check one more thing for you guys. Just there might be something in the middle. So let me just load up one more service here. One more service. All right. What are we doing? Oops. That's not looking good. It bounced right back up to the support that was easily snapped. Maybe this is just another fake out. Maybe there's too many. Yeah, we're at 6,080. 80 is an important one right now. 80 is a huge level, and then 60. So from this point, if you ended up going short on this breakdown and you're using that as your risk and you want to know just key option levels, 6,080 and 6,060 would be, at this point, profit target 1 and profit target 2, at least according to the options market. We are now going flat. Maybe some buyers are stepping in. The SPY 0 DTs are picking up. I have a feeling it's calls being, or puts being closed. Let's see. It's both, actually. Interesting. Calls, 0 DTE calls are being bought off of this level, and puts are being closed. But price is still going down. So what's interesting here is the action, what we're seeing is on the 0 DTE basis, not on the longer duration. 0 DTE puts are being monetized. People are locking in their profits at that key level, at this psychological level, and this call buying is coming in. But what's so interesting about it is even with those puts being closed out, monetized, like people are hitting the cash register, even with the calls being bought, we're not really seeing price react. As in, and why I think that's interesting is because if this call buying stops, if this put selling stops, if right here, if the 0 DTE delta stops picking up the way it is right here, here's the cumulative pickup from 1002. If that faucet gets turned off, like, this is gonna go down. The only thing that's really counteracting it and causing us to go sideways is because we are seeing bullish aggression from 1002 till now in the options market, but price is remaining unimpacted. That is setting up for there is, obviously, I'm not saying this is a guarantee, but I'm saying there is a very real situation that if this flow from 1002 to 1011, if that just stops, this is going down. Watch the VIX here. If the VIX makes a new intraday high, that could be pretty freaking painful. All right, watching this stuff. All right, I'm going to set up alerts on fresh lows of the day. I think we'll all care about that. It's exciting. This is indecisive. I don't think that there's this question comes up a lot with new traders of attempting to predict, will it break down? Will it break out? You can't. There are not accurate models that would say with like certainty of like, oh, we're going down, we're making fresh lows. Oh, we're going to go. All you can do is react. This is a game of reaction, not prediction. So if you're sitting there thinking, okay, I'm attempting to predict a recovery or a breakdown, you're already miles behind the people who are actually profitable, because the people who are actually profitable, they just react to the incoming data. They react to the incoming developments. They might have a bullish or bearish position right here, and at key levels, they're going to react if the market brings us there. They're not sitting there just saying, oh, like, I think this is going to happen. I think that's going to happen. That's not how they do it. They might be a little bit hopeful. Obviously, we're all hopeful for like our position to do one thing or another. Clearly, I don't think that that's the biggest surprise to anyone. Shit, I'm break even right now. But with that being said, they'll react to, okay, are we going to break out? Are we going to hold? Do we get rejected? Is this a lower high? Or how's it going to react to the next options level? Remember, active trading is a game of reaction, not a game of prediction. That's probably one of the most common questions I get of like, oh, what do you think about this? Is it going to break out? Is it going to break down? I have no idea. I have truly no idea whatsoever. all I can possibly tell you is, okay, do you like the risk reward or not? Yes, no. Are you trading with trend? Is it mean reversion? That's all you can possibly do. So many people are trying to predict stuff. Like right now in chat, I guarantee you there's hundreds of people saying, okay, I'm predicting a recovery. Oh, I'm predicting a breakdown. That's not how you're going to be successful in the long term. You might be successful on this like one individual trade, and hey, I don't want anyone to get like busted up, and I wish you the best of luck. But if you're attempting to do this like and survive the marathon that is trading, you just react to key levels. That's all you're doing. You're reacting to key options flow, to key breakouts, breakdowns. Like that's what you're doing. All right, the SPY may be showing signs here of this recovery, 6,100, but interesting how much the options had to front run that. Interesting. The market was real. I'm showing you the options flow for the S&P 500 complex, which is the combination of SPX, SPY, XSP, and ES right here. So it was ripping that entire time, and price barely went up. This might be a double top here. For as strong as the options market was, price did not care. And that's probably partly because the Mag 7, like the leaders of the market, just that whole time looked like crap. Maybe we're making a higher low. There's potential of it. We'll have to see if there's any follow through pretty much at this moment in time. The SPY, a flow alert. Maybe that's some aggression coming in. What do we have? 0DT calls are just getting sold. So basically, you had 0DT calls play this 8-point bounce. Okay, that's reasonable. Right here, they were playing it all the way up, and now those 0DT calls are monetizing. I might bail on mine to see how this is going to play out. Do I want to? Yes, no, maybe so. I might bail on my current NQ short just because if it is a full reversal, I don't want to get caught up in it. Yeah, I'm
Order
out.
canceled.
So now what I'm going to do, and this is actually probably an easier way to play this overall situation, is just watch this trend line. VIX is coming down. Tesla, a little bit of a pop. What a day we are having. All right, obviously, huge puke. We did just put in a higher high on the 1 minute and a higher low. So it's showing the initial signs of attempting to bounce, but I do want to let you know just that the Mag 7 looks still pretty freaking lethargic. And let me show you the total view of this. The SPY is now a bit flat. So my main watch at this time is not only this level of does it, yes, hold 6,100, because if it does, we're then in a bull case of just a dip buy scenario. But if it fails that, and then on top of that, not only failing 6,100, but this basic trend line of the higher highs, the higher lows, if it ends up just breaking downward from that structure, I think that's a pretty obvious technical setup. So we kind of had three moving parts. We have the technical price action, we have the key options level, and then we also have the options flow. Those are obviously, at least in my book, the three main things to pay attention to. We do see a clear change of tune in the options flow at 10:02. What are these 0DTs? The 0DTs, they are covering their puts and they are buying calls. But the longer duration, they're not as sold, which makes me a bit hesitant. And then we see the Mag 7, it vomited and now it's just kind of flat. The Mag 7's not picking up. The NASDAQ is not picking up. So we're seeing slight overperformance in the S&P 500 options right here. And I'm just curious if it's going to hold or not. I'm currently out of my position just because on this fresh high, if it is a reversal, I don't want to get caught up in that. And also kind of watching the vol here. Curious if we're going to take out this high at 956. Are buyers actually stepping in? As of now, they are. But I think this structure is the key structure to watch. The higher highs and higher lows from 10:02. If that is broken, that might end up truly being the trade of the day. That might be the trade of the day. So patience, we got to wait for it. Maybe it happens. Maybe it doesn't. I mean, you had to have balls to buy it down here. On both of these dips, that was... it's one thing to buy it at 10, 12, because you could be like, you know what? It popped, it came down, potential higher low, little mini Darvis box. You're just risking this. Like risk reward, that was worth it. And you're riding this up. But to just be arbitrarily buying here at the turn of the hour, which you could just argue, the market turns at the turn of the hour. That's fair. But just for how ugly that looked, like we just had such a vomit into it. Obviously, it paid nicely. I mean, heck, that was a 13-point bounce. And if we keep bouncing, honestly, there might be 16 more points in here. Like I said, key level is 6,120 to 6,125. Like it is not out of the question that we like somewhat quickly bounce all the way back up here if we see this sustained. What I keep coming back to this page for is to check what the 0 DTE players are doing. And I'm seeing strength. They stalled out a little bit. Then I saw more strength. And now they're potentially stalling out again, which, remember, the technical thing right here, this upsloping trend line. Kind of watching that. Kind of watching vol, VIX, just to see what that does. Where's the Mag 7? The Mag 7, okay, showing some strength. Kind of got going here at 1013. Overall, the day is still down, but from 1013 to this moment, we're seeing a bit of a recovery. They aren't playing 0 DTs for the bounce. They 100% are. Drop NA2. Where are you getting that? I can prove it to you. They played it. Right here is the 0 DTs. Look at all that action. And then here's the all expiration, not moving as much. Of course, they played both, but most of the money flowed into the 0 DTE. So when you're saying they aren't playing 0 DTs, you're just factually wrong. They're clearly playing 0 DTEs. Like it's literally in front of your face. Like this isn't an opinionated thing. We can see it. That's one of the cool things about the options market is you get to see all this stuff. Like it's not quote unquote hidden from anyone. Oh, that's on me. Wait, what'd you say? Paying, not playing. No one's paying for 0 D. Well, obviously they are. I don't get it. If people are, I guess I don't get what you're saying. Because if they're playing 0 DTs, that means that they're paying for 0 DTs. Are they not one and the same? How could you possibly be playing 0 DTs without paying for 0 DTs? Like, aren't those synonymous? Like those literally, to be paying for it, you have to be playing for it. To be playing it, you have to be paying it. Like those are, right? Those are the exact same things. As in the value of my calls aren't moving up? Yeah, of course. That's vol crush. That is like a common trap that a lot of retail traders fall into. If you play deep out of the money calls on a bounce back up, you're inherently wrong because vol is getting crushed, and vol is an important aspect of the extrinsic value of your contract. So if you're right and price goes up, vol dies. So even though you're gaining, delta, you're losing vol. So I mean that it's called vol crush. Like that happens all the time. I hope this is your first and last time ever doing that, but in heightened vol situations, to aggressively play the bounce back, especially with far out strikes, you're inherently wrong when you are right. Because if you're right in price, vol gets crushed so much that it's really hard to gain value. We've gone up $2 and I'm up a penny. I get that. Just pointing it out. I mean, once you've gone around the block a couple times with options trading, that's like kind of just a well-known thing. Matt, have you ever considered taking into account the VIX when opening positions, aka opening longs and the VIX is high, and shorting when the VIX is low? Well, the VIX is just the volatility of the S&P 500. So of course I take the VIX into account when I'm looking at the SPY, but if I'm trading Tesla, I'll look at the implied vol of Tesla. Like VIX is literally just the volatility of this one thing right here, of just the S&P 500. Matt, you used to trade options, right? Futures seem better. Nope, I trade them both. They're both good. Quick quick alert here, team. We might have the VIX picking up again. Matt, you've been wrong for like 3 days now. Wrong about what? Brian, who is shouting in all capitals. Matt, you've been wrong for like 3 days now. Is that why I made $20,000+ yesterday? Is that what being wrong was, Brian? Because if so, interesting definition of being wrong. Interesting definition. But Brian, I'm going to need you to hold your stupid thoughts for a second because I have to trade soon. Vol is picking up. Bearish. We're right at that 6,100. We're potentially coming down. Mag 7 maybe turning. SPY. I wonder if these people ran out of gas. I wonder if these people ran out of gas. The 0 DTE, which, like I said, be careful with it being in quick drops like that. It's generally better and safer to just sell puts. So it, like for whoever that was, drop into that might be something you want to consider, is selling, like just getting into put credit spreads in those situations, or even, I don't know, maybe call debit spreads, but just going long calls, like long call premium, it's a tough thing to do in those environments. I highly recommend you look into put credit spreads or call debit spreads to play these situations. All right, watching to see how this one, watching this trend line. Here's the Mag 7. Mag 7 has now gone officially flat since 1020. Here's the NASDAQ. Are we going to turn over here? Right now, honestly, what is saving the market is look at the green bars on the chart are the 0 DTE calls. So a lot of 0 DTE calls being purchased. And then the light blue, the teal, whatever you want to call it, are 0 DTE puts probably being closed out. They're just being sold because they're adding. So basically, when you are adding positive delta from the calls, that means people are going long calls. When you're adding positive delta from the puts, that means people are selling puts, because puts have negative delta. So they're kind of the inverse. So when you see them both going up, they're both contributing mathematically positive delta to the system. And we've seen that aggressive since 1002, 1003. So that's just for the 0 DT. This is all expirations put together, including today. So you see quite a few puts being monetized, and it was weird, but in the longer duration, there was a lag, and then people started buying calls, probably just saying, hey, all right, I'll play a swing off of 6,100 if it holds and if it breaks. My thoughts of where today could go is it was smart for people to buy the dip because it was low risk. You could have bought on this breakout here at 1012, you could have bought here at 1015. And what's nice about it is your risk is right there. They're pretty much risking nothing. It's pretty much a risk-free play, because if they're right and they catch a bounce, they're awesome and they have a huge risk to reward and it bounces all the way up. And their risk is right here. Like probably a lot of these players are risking 6099, 6098. So if they take a slight loss, they're going to be like, you know what? We lost support. We're just not going to do it. This is a classic dip buy off of a support. And it's not just a support level. It's the key support level. If you look at the option structure right now, this is a smart play. Like I 100% the dip buyers. If you bought this dip, that's a smart play. If you use those levels of support, and you try to do this time and time again, your risk is so minimal. The risk reward is 50-50, like as in if you're right or wrong, but your reward relative to your risk, it's so much greater that is a good trade. Like I 100%, all the players who did it, like it makes sense. It's a quality trade. If you did it, hats off to you, because I don't know if this one individual trade is going to work out for you. It's going to come down to the 50-50 luck of do we hold this or not. But if you're right 50% of the time and wrong 50% of the time, but the time you're right, you win $10, and the time you're wrong, you only lose $1, obviously you're going to be net ahead $9. Like you have a positive EV situation. So like if you did it, that was legitimately a good play. So obviously hats off to you. And for those of you who are like, okay, like I don't quite get it, that's the reasoning behind it. You're coming up to support. You have the 50-50 shot of being right or being wrong. But if you're right, your reward is so much greater relative to your risk. So that's why people do it. That's why people play that. So right now, I don't think anyone knows. We got this bounce. Now the question is it a dead cat bounce or not? And I think what's going to tell us is the options flow. I think if we see these call buyers, this green line, if these call buyers, which are 0 DT, so we know they're probably going to monetize it at some point today, if we see them start to dip, if these call buyers start to hit the cash register and monetize, that's going to be removing positive delta to the system, and that means we could be dropping. So it kind of depends on when they do it. We're kind of seeing a little bit of funky action right now that ends up just netting out, but look how flat we've just gone. Everyone's indecisive. Price is indecisive. Options are indecisive. We're just going to be sitting here waiting at this point to see which way this does or doesn't break. And once again, the golden question is, does 6,100 hold or not? If it doesn't, look for the snap of 6,090, and below that you have the snap of 6,085. I told you 80 was a key options level, and then below that 60. On the flip side, the longer this holds, especially if you see the Mag 7 pick up, especially if you see the SPY keep going up, which maybe the call buyers aren't done. Maybe these are the David Goggins of call buyers, or more so likely it's probably going to be the puts throwing in their towel and saying, you know what, I'm done like with this situation. That is seemingly more likely. Wouldn't be surprised if that actually leads a pretty speedy recovery up to somewhere in this $5 range. This is like another key options position between 6,100, 6,125. But the alert you just saw was the SPY and the Qs taking out that recent high from 1021. Obviously, from just where we've been for this entire day, we're still not out of the woods. This, if anything, this might just be a retracement back up to yesterday's low. And if we fail at yesterday's low, that's not so good. But vol keeps getting hit. VIX has been continuously coming down since 10:02, which is right when all those call buyers and put sellers stepped in. Once again, 10:02. We saw a little bit of life here at 10:23. Since then, not the most going on. This is going to be a waiting game. I believe at some point today, we're going to be presented with another great opportunity. I don't know if it's going to be bullish or bearish, but either this is going to get faded super, super hard, or we're going to be able to recover all the way back up. The 5-minute, 10-minute, 30-minute, all bearish. 5-minute, 10-minute, 30-minute, all bearish. What was the intraday high here? The intraday high was 35, which according to GexBot is actually a key level. 35 is a key level. We might be running into this resistance at 6,115. We do have some gamma there. Once again, 6,115, which is about 5 points above where we currently are. So kind of halfway in between yesterday's low and this key options level that we had coming into the market. So I don't know, kind of right where this puke started to accelerate. Let's see. Mag 7, even though the SPY is clearly long and strong since the turn of the hour, the Mag 7 hasn't been. People are not aggressively picking up their favorite tech names, Apple, Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft, NVIDIA, and Tesla. So be careful with that. They're also not, they were getting into the NASDAQ, but then they stopped getting into the NASDAQ. So we're in a situation where the biggest 7 companies, or the most impactful 7 companies, have gone flat. The NASDAQ has gone flat, and the SPY, huge rip to the upside, but also just recently that started to go flat at 1031. So for the past 2 minutes, that flow has been turning off. So I'm watching this trend line. I think this is the watch. Maybe we bounce off of it and keep slowly but surely climbing up to these key levels. Like we just kind of playing off the key option levels. All right, we don't really need that. If it really gets going, we might be talking about 6,135, which is the intraday high. That's totally in the cards today. You know what else is in the cards? A breakdown of this trend line, and we vomit all the way down to the intraday low. So be ready for both of those events and just play it accordingly, and ideally get in with minimal risk. Like that's the whole goal, is take a bunch of low risk setups, and then eventually when you get that massive reward, it pays off all those little paper cuts that you've suffered. Every time the SPY comes here, it's just getting saved. I don't know which way it's going to be, but I have a feeling that I'm going to look over and there's just going to be a big options movement one way or the other. I feel like I'm going to look over and then all of a sudden there's just going to be someone like smashing the tape. All right, so we have some interesting structures here. Oops. Intraday low, that one. Kind of watching that. Also kind of watching this. Watching these two upsloping trend lines on the NASDAQ, kind of running all the way back up to VWAP, might be getting hit there. That's the 300. I'm seeing the SPY starting to turn 76. So if I get in here, it's risking about 30 points. 30 points per contract is about $600. That'd put my loss at 1,500. SPY potentially breaking down. Q's potentially breaking down. Tesla actually maybe putting in a higher low. All right, it's about to be decision time for old Mateo. It's about to be decision time for old Mateo. We broke one trend line. All right. We're giving it the old college try. We're giving it the old college try. All right. If you've seen me trade before, you know that's not my real profit target. I just have it up there in case there's like a random vomit that I wasn't prepared for. But what I care a lot more about is just riding whatever the trend is. So I might get in later, I might get out earlier. But my major goal is just to de-risk the situation as quickly as I possibly can. De-risk. And the reason I'm comfortable to get into that, not only are we breaking the trend line, the VIX is picking up. Obviously, I'll be watching 6,100. I'm very mindful of the fact that we could bounce off of that. So I'll be watching that very, very closely. Very closely. But also, I see options started to puke. And in the Mag 7, they took a little bit of a hit. But right here in the SPY, how big's the vomit going to be? I saw this, and you never know what the next bar is going to be. All you could do is like right here, I saw a puke. And of course, yeah, it might bounce or it might just keep puking. You don't know. But what I do know is I'm watching this level. Are we going to snap? Yes, no, maybe so. If we do snap 6,100, next level is 6,090. If we take out 6,090, that is a fresh new low, changing the trend from bearish to bullish back to bearish. And then below 690, I think a pretty easy target is 6,084. So we're right back at that key level. Once again, to show you options, they are once again vomiting. The Mag 7 is flat. The NASDAQ actually bounced on that. Here's the SPY though. VIX picking up. Watch for the VIX to take out its recent high of 1635. Things might get interesting there. But I wonder if this is a fake out breakout. You never know. All I can tell you is we're at this key level. About a 50-50 shot. We're at key support. Maybe we break, maybe we bounce. Your job here is to understand that it's flipping a coin. That's all you're doing. Major support. This isn't just a support. I cannot stress this enough. This is the support. So if this snaps, big implications. So when you come to levels like this, there's not going to be a model to tell you. There's not going to be a way to be able to predict or understand if this is going to break or it's going to hold, because it breaking or it holding is dependent on traders that haven't traded yet. They're waiting. They're actively sitting here like the way we are. So with that, you're just playing a risk reward trade. And if you think it's going to break down, okay, your risk is probably this recent high. And had you bought the dip earlier, your support, you're probably risking this level. So I think it's super helpful for any trader to kind of go through that thought process of what are the bulls thinking right now and what are the bears thinking right now. Because looking at this, I see the higher highs, I see the higher lows. The bull camp is hoping that this holds. So we just got another test right there at 1037.45. We just got another test at 6,100. They're like, okay, cool. It's holding. We're there. I see a little bit of a sell-off. Maybe this is just a retest. Maybe it's going to be strengthening it. They're probably looking at the option levels, which we're seeing some 0 DTE. Let's see what's happening. More of 0 DTE puts are being covered into this. So some weak put hands. Calls aren't really being touched. We're also seeing some longer dated puts. That delta is popping. If you look at the NASDAQ, nothing really is going on there. If you look at the Mag 7, the Mag 7 actually picked up a bit into that, but kind of watching. We do have these put players, but it all comes down to this, folks. This is the point where, yes, you can know what you're doing. You could understand how to read options. You can respect your risk to reward. You can be trading your system. And then there's going to be parts like this where it's pure luck. Are you on the right side of the 50-50 luck? And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because you could be a 50-50 trader and still be massively profitable if you're in control of your loss size and your win size. We're testing. We are below. This is where the reaction is going to get fun, because the people who are risking this as their support, are they about to bail or are they going to just hold on? Because if you don't have those buyers getting out of their position, it might bounce right back. So we're about to find out in real time how strong these bulls are. We're about to find out. We're just dancing at this level. All right. While we're waiting to see if we do get fireworks or if we did, well, it's going to be fireworks either way. We're getting fireworks that are hugely red or fireworks that are nicely green. So we're guaranteed fireworks basically. But I want you guys to guess what color fireworks we're dealing with here. Do you think we're going to get a nice reversal because we vomited, we retested, we recaptured? Is this just a test bounce, which is totally possible? I give that a 50% odds. And there's also the chance of the vomit. And then we test 60.90 and then we test 6085. Ricky's voting on the bulls. Cast your votes. Let your voice be heard. And if you vote afterward, after you already know, it does not count. Max the Bear is voting red. I think your name gave that one away. Up, and away. Maybe red, green, brown, blue. Crapshoot. Well, of course it's a crapshoot. It's 50-50. Use the Wheel of Destiny. I think that's in my closet. I'll have to grab that, bring it back into the studio. Thinking red, sideways. I don't think sideways is going to be really, it's a possibility. I think that's the lowest possibility. I think traders are going to have to react to this level. I think market makers are going to have to react to this level. We're about to find out. We are about to find out. Here's the Mag 7 flat. Let me give you a cleaner look. Let's just go to the 30 second. Let's clean this up a little bit. Here's a look. The Mag 7 perfectly flat. The traders are literally waiting to say, okay, are we going to bounce or not? This is as indecisive, undecided as possibly could be. The SPY had a nice pop, gave some back, and now even its own delta is range bound. So not only is the price range bound, but the delta is range bound. We're just waiting. The VIX picked up a little bit, but not much. The trend line breakdown, it broke down a little bit, going flat. Broke down a little bit, now going flat. Here we go, team. What's it gonna do? Are the buyers gonna step up? Will the real bull buyers please stand up? Because if you don't, we're dropping like a potato sack. Will they, won't they? Will they, won't they? Will they, won't they? Will they, won't they? Buyers or sellers? Buyers or sellers? I guess I could do the 5 second and zoom in real close so you could see what the options flow is actually doing at these levels. Kind of nothing. Even they're undecided. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? This is exciting. Like, are we gonna bounce or not? Are the buyers gonna step in and we just take out 6105 and then 6110 and we bounce up a whole dollar in the SPY? Or are we gonna take out 6098 and vomit 10 plus points? We're gonna get a good move regardless. I truly believe that. Obviously, I can't guarantee anything, but just seeing how much like kinetic energy is currently in the system here, key level. But we just don't know the way. We don't know the way. Oh, even the options are going flat now. Even the options have stopped playing. Dude, everyone is awkwardly waiting. They're as feverishly waiting as we are. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Maybe we need some tunes to see how this one's going to be going. Maybe we need some tunes here. Oh, what do we have? 100 contracts deep. Hustling, feeling. Don't be tardy. Easy money. Limit up, never down. All right, we'll play that one. We're waiting, team. Patience is gonna
wake up rich
pay.
while you're still dreaming. Eyes on the screen, got the tape still screaming. Flipping these charts like I'm stacking
Vix
a
is
deck.
picking up, be careful.
Trade with conviction, no time for regrets. I hedge my bets, you hedge excuses. Blaming the market, but you make the losses. Burning accounts like a match to the wick. Call it bad luck, but you're just bad at this. Fool's gold, diamond hands, paper chase, broken plans. You still trying to time the top while I'm moving with the trend. Talking big, calling plays, but you're slow to pull the blade. I don't wait, I don't flinch, I just execute and win. Live it up, never down. We stack it up while they cash it out. Take the risk, make the calls. You hold too long, you lose it all. Trend don't bend, I don't break. They trade on vibes, I move with faith. Live it up, never down. They fold the hand, we run the town. I hit the tape, see the prince move early. You're chasing highs, I'm already sturdy. You trust the news, I trust the math. You're scalping crumbs, I'm building stacks. I flip these apex plays like switches. Move so clean, got the broker suspicious. Trading in ranges, you're stuck in a cage. Putting up numbers, they reading my page. Fool's gold, diamond hands, paper chase, broken plans. You still trying to time the top while I'm moving with the trend. Talking big, calling plays, but you're slow to pull the blade. I don't wait, I don't flinch, I just execute and win. Live it up, never down. We stack it up while they cash it out. Take the risk, make the calls. You hold too long, you lose it all. Trend don't bend, I don't break. They trade on vibes, I move with faith. Live it up, never down. They fold the hand, we run the town. Say it's rigged, call it fate, but I'm still ahead today. Every chart's a battlefield, I got war paint on my face. Thinking hope is strategy, that's why you can't replicate. Every move is calculated, every
Mag
win's
7 turning.
Limit up, never down. We stacking up while they cashing out. Take the risk, make the calls. You hold too long, you lose it all. Trend don't bend, I don't break. They trade on vibes, I move with faith. Limit up, never down. They fold the hand, we run the town.
vol is still picking up. Dude, where do we?
I wanna sing, scares me.
Hang on, I'm gonna pause that for a second to see what we have going on here. 35, 25. What is this? A sell-off for ants? What in the world is this? Closed. Well, we broke. Mag 7 tilting ever since 1043. Let me go show you here 30 seconds. We're not getting the options vomit I thought we would on that snap. But if price keeps trending down and then we see a vomit, it's just going to speed up. It's just going to speed up. What are we doing here? 9 a.m. and we can't stop dreaming about fresh baked bread. Dude, you and me both, brother. You and me both. Where's the flow at? Mag 7. Are we going to move? Are we going to move? How do I want to play this? We do have OPEX tomorrow as well. Is this actually going to go? Broadcom, something's going on there. All right. We're going to see if we can make some magic out of lemonade. We're seeing if we can make some magic out of lemonade, folks. All right, where are we at? All right, if you're in the Discord, I just kind of put in a unique trade for me, but we're going to see how it goes. We're going to see how it goes today. What was that song that was playing? That kind of got me interested. Crying in the Shower. All right. Mag 7, puking. Spy, kind of holding, but maybe about to puke. I forgot. Oh, shit. I am up big. What the fuck? I forgot. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. We've been here before, Matt. Act like you've made a profit. Act like you've made a profit before. I've never made a profit. I don't know how to handle this. I don't know how to handle this. I've never been here. All right. First smart thing to do is take in more time. Let's act like I've been here. You've been here before. You know how to make money. You know how to make money. Matt Kohrs is crying in the shower. All right. First thing we do is take all risk off the table. Stop is now at break even. Looking for the snap of 2,200 support. Looking for that. This really isn't my target. If I could catch a trend, I'm going to catch a trend. Just arbitrarily moving it down to see if there's a vomit. 21,960 could be support, which is also the intraday low. Like I said, I have no risk right now. I did move my stop to break even. Flow alert just came in. All right. Let's see how this goes. Trendline snap. VIX is picking up. Looks like the real bulls did not stand up. Matt Kohrs is crying in the shower. Got an alert on Broadcom. We might as well peek that to see what's going on. In the shower. He is crying. Broadcom breaking down. Meta, Nvidia, Tesla, Palantir, Microsoft, Apple, Interesting. SPY is below the last 3 days, setting up a potential push at 605. The Qs are below the last 3 days, setting up a potential push at 532. And then followed by that 529. All right, so we did snap this low that we saw at 1010. Next low is the intraday low that we saw at 1001, 1002, watching 6084. Watching 6084. VIX is still picking up. VIX is not getting hit. We might as well watch Tesla's intraday low. Here's the options flow. Lots of flow alerts hitting the tape right now. Mag 7 bleeding, but a tiny pop. What is going on with all these flow alerts? Look at all these flow alerts. What's happening? I think maybe people are trying to save it from this breakdown. What's the Kohrs of Thunder? Lots of flow alerts going off. They make it so you can't really read it that well, though, unfortunately. Delta's popping a little, it looks like. Folks, I kind of laid this play out perfectly for all of you. You can't really say you weren't prepared for this, of what in the world's going on right now. You just can't. VIX. Watching Tesla. I'm in a Tesla play. All right. I'm giving you guys Christmas Day. I feel like I'm paying off a lot of Christmas bills for all of you in here. Come on. What are we doing? We're below. We made a fresh low, so we went from higher highs and higher lows from 1002 to 1032. You could see the local highs with the red and the green arrows. That's an easy indicator. It's called fractals if you want to put it on yours, but it just shows you the local highs and the local lows. So anyway, from 1002 to about 1030, we reverse trend. You could see higher high, higher high, higher high. Okay, cool. And then we could see higher low, higher low. So there's a trend reversal. It got a little bit questionable at 1040, but it got more evident here at not 1051, where we took out these lows right here. So the trend went from higher highs and higher lows to lower highs, lower lows. Now I'm looking for the test of the intraday low. So we know price went bearish, bullish, bearish. Then we sanity checked that with the overall price flow, bearish, 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 bearish. And then the final check is the options flow, which is right here. Bullish up until 1032. Then it got hit. Now we're going flat. The Mag 7, bearish, a pop, flat. Then a hit, and now maybe a little bit of a relief bounce. Here's a look at the NASDAQ complex. Hit, a little bit of a pop, hit again, and now a little bit of a relief bounce. So those are the things I check. Obviously, they're all important, but I think following options flow is beyond necessary. Like, I don't know how you'd be a successful trader without knowing options flow, and that's exactly why I asked Spot Gamma team to give us a fat discount. You could get 80% off. If you want to check the second-to-second movement, I mean, I'm drilled into the 5-second movement of options flow. I could see the calls, the puts for all expiration, for next expiry, Obviously, you have the trace tools where you could see whatever. Here, I'll show you the gamma levels on the day. We'll go to the 5-minute. You could see right here, 6,100 massive gamma level. If that doesn't hold, we see this patch between 670 and 660. We see some negative gamma at 690, the overall complex. So my point is you have this, you have the vol dashboard, which is actually really interesting. This is actually suggesting that for tomorrow, options are expensive on SPX. But regardless, you get the point that there's a ton here right now. Fat 80% off. Check it out. Pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. Are we going to break down or not? Are we going to break down or not? Are we doing it? Are we doing it? As Steven in Discord would say, is this it? Is this it? VIX is holding high. Tesla's not really doing anything. SPY and Qs are like slowly bleeding down. Slowly. We have key level here at 68. I already marked that out for you. So somewhere between 85 and 80 is important, which we know that because it's the intraday low and also the next key options level. Oops, I did not mean to do that. So watching right here, do we successfully make a fresh low? Or if we do, does it bounce right off the next options level, which is 60-80? If 60-80 doesn't hold, the next level is all the way down at 60-60, which would put the SPY at like 604-ish if you're looking for equivalent levels. Here's the flow. NASDAQ getting hit. SPY is bleeding, very evidently bleeding. The MAG 7 is also now starting to bleed over the past couple of minutes. Here are my positions, currently up 1.4K on 30 accounts. I have 20 Apex, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 different take profits. I should probably move my stop a bit here. All right, I moved my stop to about 20 points in the money. I do have a locked-in loss of 900, but I'm currently up 1700, so I'm up net 9, as you can see on the screen. I'm curious how this is going to react. This is what trend following is all about. You never know when you're going to catch a trend. Team. Is this it? Shout out. Come on. All right. Tendies and Tunes. Here we go. This is where all the music is if you guys want to listen to it yourself, but let's see what the most popular ones have been. We're getting, you guys like Kohrs After Midnight. I guess Bring Me the Kohrs is the most popular song. Why are you guys liking that song so much? Why not Kohrs on the Cob, dude? We're all the NASDAQ cowboy. This is by your favorite country artist, Kohrs on the Cob. All right, pop there. Whiskey straight in my cup. I short these stocks till the debt piles up. You bet the farm on a SPY almost hit the intraday low, then caught a bid. Vol took a bit of a hit. Tesla not doing anything. Every dumb fool's got a lesson to spin. They max their leverage, now they're on their knees. Bag holding hope like it's a disease. They diamond hand while I couldn't run. This pop gonna hold. Couple minute pop here at the turn of the hour. How much is this going to pop? MAG 7, a little bit of a tiny pop. SPY, not doing much. According to the options market, this pop is bullshit. There's only a little relief in options. Some 0DT call buyers, some 0D put sellers coming in. Lock in my profits, then I hit the bricks. Charts don't lie, but the fools still do. Sitting in red while I buy what's blue. You hold through pain, I hold through gain. Sipping my bourbon while counting remains. You're praying for moons, I'm calling the crash. You ride. What are they doing? Bearish, bearish, bearish. Bearish, bearish, bearish. I mean, these are all evidently bearish. I mean, the 4 hour actually might be breaking down here on the NASDAQ. What about on the ES? 4 hour also might. That's a big deal, folks. Uh-oh. We might be turning. This might have been that little dead cat. MAG 7. We're giving it right back. Kohrs on the Cob. Can't wait till that guy goes on tour. How do I find that channel? It's in the description. We have a whole channel. It's free for everyone. It's called Tendies and Tunes. It's in the description of the video. But all the music, it's just out there for free. All right, we know the support levels. We know the levels we need to be watching. Options are flat, price flat. Watching VIX. The VIX did take out this 1010 high, but not the 1001 high. This is right where things turned. Tesla looking a bit heavy over here, pushing these lows, but what really matters to look heavy or not is the options flow. And Tesla is legitimately looking heavy. Like the options flow is almost at an intraday low. All right, that's a little Kohrs on the cob. What's the most popular song on the channel? Bring Me the Horizon. F your feelings.
Screaming at the world, I don't care what you say. Your emotions are weak. Get the fuck out of my way. Sick of the crying, tired of the whining. I'm done with your bullshit. Stop fucking hiding.
Aggressive.
Don't give a shit about your fragile mind. You're lost in your feelings, leaving truth behind. You act so tough, but you're scared to be real. Shut the fuck up, I don't care how you feel. Fuck your feelings!
Dude, this is an aggressive song. This is so aggressive. I don't know if I've heard this one. I guess we're taking off in the screamo music world. So we're seeing a bit of a stronger bounce right now in the NASDAQ than in the SPY. The SPY's pretty flat. The NASDAQ, decent reaction. Not much. I mean, obviously, it's still bearish. I mean, we're literally just above the intraday low. And maybe it is a double bottom. Maybe we come out of it. I'm confused on what these flow alerts are. Can I just turn those off for now? Show alerts. No. All right. They were just annoying. They were taking up too much real estate. So even though price is at the low, options are showing a bit of divergence. The delta is clearly higher than when we were here before. Clearly higher. Well, now this is interesting because the NASDAQ is getting more relief. Like the SPY is literally hanging out at the intraday low, but the NASDAQ, it bounced 60 cents early. Tesla's flat. VIX is doing its thing. Microsoft is pushing. Apple's actually pushing. Palantir, Tesla, Nvidia, Meta, Broadcom, RUM, Amazon, Netflix, Coin, BJT, ASML, Qualcomm. So two of the biggest stocks in the world, Apple and Microsoft, are actually looking decent. The rest of the world, Nvidia got a tiny pop, but the rest of the world is looking kind of bad. Vol, what is Vol doing here? No, is it really going to save itself? I wanted more fireworks. We're just kind of range bound now. We puked to make this fresh low, not the intraday low, but a fresh low relative to 1010. And since then, we're just now flat. The Qs are showing a bit of a better bounce for whatever reason. It's probably because nothing's moving but Apple and Microsoft are, and they're actually moving up. So I think that's why we're seeing a bit more relief in the NASDAQ relative to the SPY. But overall, it's still a bad day. I mean, look at it, like massively bearish. Look at these EMA clouds. Like this thing just puked on both. So I guess what I'm saying, it's a bit more bullish. It's in a very short time frame because right now on an intraday basis, there's not bullishness going on. Maybe things would change if somehow SPX can get above and hold above 6,100. But the longer it holds below this, the worse it is, because obviously people have 6,100 strikes. They're playing that. And when the longer it's down here, the worse those players are going to actually feel. I'm very surprised on this puke right here at 1059. We didn't at least touch the intraday low. And granted, we got absurdly close. It got down to 84.96. This was 84.59. So it was within a point. It was within half a point. So this might be a classic double bottom. It might be. The SPY is kind of, or the Qs are picking up. See, VIX is now getting hit. VIX is taking a breather. But is this just a giant setup for a puke later on? Obviously now, if you've missed this whole thing, I still think that there's going to be great opportunity later on today. My major watch, I'd be watching twofold. If the SPX does not successfully hold above 6,100, I think a solid play of the day is this trend line breakdown on the Qs, just connecting the major lows of the day. If it starts to push that, you could risk whatever the recent high is and then move on with your life from there. I think that's a very reasonable play. The Qs are getting a better bounce, especially as the VIX is dying here. We had a lot of red. Now we're getting a little bit of green, a lot of red, a clear amount of green there. What are we doing? SPY options picking up. It seems like at the turn of each hour is where the options are turning. Right here, at least for today, 10:01, 10:02, pop. Right here, 10:59, pop. So people are reacting to definitely the change of the hour. Even the Mag 7 right there at 11, pop. Right here at 10:02, pop. So maybe that's something. Maybe some big bots, big algos are running at that moment in time. Or maybe it's just coincidental and people are more so just playing the key levels and it just happens to align with the time of the day. Totally possible. Totally possible. But right now, we have a pretty obvious structure to pay attention to. The obvious structure on the SPY is this recent high at 1030 and the recent low at 10. Watch for that breakout or that breakdown. On the Qs, it's the same thing. We have the high, we have the low, but we also have this clear trend line. So a little bit extra watch there. If you're looking for the exact value, watch 6,100. It looks like we took that out. Yes. Just watching some 6,100 is the key pivotal options level. So clearly watching that is going to be very, very important. We almost got the official breakdown, but not so much. So I'll be watching for the reaction here. It might look something like 10:05, 10:06, just like a push up and a rejection. If that happens, then come back to watching 6,085. Obviously, if it breaks out and holds, then you're watching that recent high at 1030. So that's the bear case and the bull case. Of course, monitor it with the options flow. I mean, the options flow, there's never a perfect leading indicator telling you where things are about to go. But if we were to get close to it, it would be watching the options flow. So highly recommend checking that out. And like I said, you could get 80% off. Check out what's pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. Folks, that's what I have for you. I didn't realize I'm already over on time. It is 11:11, so good luck to everyone in their positions. I'm going to be hanging out in the Discord. Remember, you can join up with the Discord if you want. It's all in the description of the video. That's what I have for you. Best of luck. Respect your risk. If you feel like you missed out today, do not worry, because the way today is setting up, there's gonna be good opportunity today. So you don't need to rush a trade that you're not necessarily in love with or anything like that. I feel very, very confident that if you are just patient and wait for it, there's gonna be a setup for you to take advantage of today. So just be patient. Patience is the name of the game, not only today, but it is pretty much every single day in the world of trading in the world's largest casino. That's what I have for you right now. We'll be posting an update later on today, right after market close. So it'll be coming out around 7 p.m. Eastern, and then we'll be streaming once again tomorrow morning. So I hope to see you there. I appreciate all the good vibes. I appreciate all the love. Remember, stick to your system, follow your rules, don't get oversized, respect your risk, respect your profit target. And if you are patient to wait for everything to align for you Today, I think we still got some good action today. I don't know if it's bullish or bearish. I'm just saying there's enough pent up energy in the system right now that I think we're definitely going to be getting some nice, healthy moves. So I'm excited to see how things go. That's what I have for you right now. I'll catch you later on. Love you all. Peace.